Mother, man.
Hey, it's Brian Ward with the Dark History and Horror Convention, and you are listening to Murder, Metal, Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder, Metal, Mayhem!
What's going on?
What's up, motherfuckers? How's it going?
Hell yeah, man. It's Tuesday, and we're doing that thing we do here at Horns High Studios on the Horns High Podcast Network. Always pumped to throw down a new Murder, Metal, Mayhem episode. We got 154 for you guys tonight, so definitely down with it. I got Chris, I got Joey, and special guest over there, Brian Ward from the Dark History and Horror Convention. He did a little promo there for us.
How's it going, Brian?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Going well. How about you guys? Thanks again for having me, by the way.
No problem, man. Anytime.
We are stomping poser ass every fucking week in here, man. We're loving it. I had a little surgery because I was whipping so much ass, But
I wonder what happened there. Yeah,
got fixed. I wear a brace because I'm kicking too much ass, my foot. So it's just mayhem in here. We got Brian in here. Going to talk about some Dark History Convention tonight. It's going to be wicked.
Yeah, not really a murder case or
anything. Kind of, though. I mean,
in
general, a lot of murdering going on with some of the serial killers.
Yeah, and there's going to be some names that you guys will definitely know.
I've picked out, it's like going to a concert. I'm really picking the shirt that I'm going to wear. Because I know I've got to impress Brian. I think I've done that.
You have.
I think I have done that with my choice of shirt.
Oh, when you wear
for the Dark History. Yeah. I was gonna do Ricky Casso, but I'm wearing it tonight. I knew I would see you tonight.
That fucking shirt's so sick.
It is.
But I got another one that I think you'll get a kick out of. Okay. So I think I'm gonna wear that one.
And I've had a friend or two tell me that it's a little just logistical. We had to make it the one day this year,
right?
And at least one person that I've talked to, he's like, man, I usually have 2 or 3 shirts, one for each day. He's like, I guess I'm going to have to do 6.
Every 6 hours,
every couple hours it'd be a shirt. Like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to spend more than I'm making there. That's okay,
that's always the way.
Okay. Yeah. But speaking of shirts, Chris, what do you got on over there?
Got the Gore Camp Cannibal Cookout and Jamboree shirt from the show back in Galesburg a couple months ago.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that shit was so dope.
Some top 40 music? Is that what that was?
It is.
Yeah.
You know it is.
Brian, what about you? What do you got going on?
I happen to have on a shirt that I got from Victoria Price, Vincent Price's daughter.
Oh, cool.
At one of the conventions, I think 2016 or 17.
Awesome.
Just got to talking to her about growing up watching Vincent Price.
And
she was like, well, pick out a design you like. And she just gave it to me. So
that's cool. That's a sick shirt.
Pretty
I like it.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Joey, what about you, man? Looks like some Disney-inspired stuff on your shirt.
Yeah, for sure. I got the Macabre shirt on, nice. Chicago Murder Metal, with a bunch of serial killers like they do. I got the shirt, pretty sure I got it in when they played Reno's in Dallas-Fort Worth. It was funny because, I'm from up here. I've seen Macabre fucking tons of times. So when they came down there, they're considered more of like a bigger band, I guess, because they're not there as much. But I've hung out with Corporate Death, the singer, tons of times, smoked with them and everything.
Right.
And so my buddies that are with me are like, man, I'd love to meet. I was like, you want to meet them? I was like, here, hold on. I went and fucking caught Corporate Death. I'm like, dude, you want to smoke some good ass weed? And he was like, hell yeah. So we went out to the car, and my buddies are like, dude, we're in the car with fucking the singer from Macabre. I was like, fuck
yeah, right, you are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, rocking the Macabre shit though.
That's really cool. And of course, I got my Ricky Casso on. I surprised Chris with this when I saw it because he's been one of our favorite. Just kind of laugh about what a dumbass.
Joey showed me that fucking
My Sweet Satan.
Yeah, My Sweet Satan.
Yeah,
fucking that little movie short, dude.
Yeah, that's short.
I was like, dude, this dude's fucked.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'd never seen a Ricky Casso shirt till I saw this with Acid King on the bottom. So just too good. All right, last week we did an episode on the infamous occultist, author, and general madman Aleister Crowley. Was one our listeners have asked about, and we rolled it out, starting out, Chris, a little creepy October season.
Right, hell yeah. Spooky season.
That's right, and so why not? So we talked about his interesting life, his writings, the religious pursuits, and all the things macabre and dark that have to do with him. And it was crazy. Joey, you read that poem.
Yeah.
Leah Sublime. That was brutal, man.
Doing the Crowley one was like whenever we did the LeVay one, because I was like, man, while we're doing this, like, we're doing things based on the things that we can find about it and know about. But anybody that's like really into that shit, and like I know some of our witches or our listeners like witches and occultists and all that, and it's like, I know that when we do this, they're gonna have things to say about it. That
they'll be cringing.
Yeah, you know, and fucking. But yeah, so I kind of got a little bit of feedback, kind of like that. But from what we did, I think we did pretty good.
Well, hey, we've been named, the Beavis and Butthead of serial killers.
Does
so
that make me
Stuart
now?
Yeah,
Winger rocks.
we had CK on to talk about the influence that Crowley had on bands, which was cool. And then we had 3 Mayhem stories. They definitely got their money's worth. We tore it up righteously. And so go on and give episode 153 a listen from last week. And for everyone who has, we just passed 1,000 today.
Nice.
So thank you very much. Tonight, we got a good one for sure. As we mentioned, we got Brian Ward here to talk about the Dark History and Horror Convention coming up. Brian, October 23rd. It's going to be here soon. That's 2021. Depending on when you're listening to this, you might be like showing up and be like, God damn it, Brian, what the fuck?
Why is he doing a horror convention on a Tuesday?
Yeah, what the hell, man? So it's in Champaign, Illinois, and it's going to be a good one this year. And we wanted to get Brian in here to talk about some of the history of the event and the little preview, pregame type stuff. There's almost 100 different vendors and people that are going to be appearing. He's got panels and movies and just a lot going on. So definitely going to sort it out with you here tonight, Brian. So thanks for coming in, man.
Anytime, guys.
And you've been in here before. So we had, remember we did the serial killer, the cage match where the tattoos on.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoos. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Brian's got some serial killer tats. And we had some fun with that. So anyway, we've had you in here before.
I think I don't even remember who the participants were, but I remember there was a large 2-headed dildo that was involved. Yes.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. That somehow ends up in the mix more often than not.
Fair enough.
Which is weird, man. Welcome to my
And
life.
the one tonight in the Killer Cage match is actually a recurring one that makes us laugh every time.
Okay.
So anyway, we got CK warming up, ready to throw down in the metal segment. He's going to talk about Fear Factory. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Not really my thing, but I'm always interested to hear what he's got to say.
I dig Fear Factory.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I listened to some of it. I'm like, all right, there's parts of it that were okay, but not really my thing. But we're going to talk to him in the metal segment and catch up on what he's got going on there in Danbury, Connecticut. And speaking of that Killer Cage match tonight, Chris, we got a good one and some listeners
Yes,
we want to say thank you to.
We got Michael Bain, we got Cale Kurzweil, and we got Gummo Wallbacon, little fucking necro cannibal ass grinder action.
Nice.
What
I
up?
thought that's who that was. I thought that's who that
Thanks
was.
a lot,
So,
guys. Appreciate it.
very cool. And Michael, of course, being from Canada, Cale is from Tasmania.
I saw he's a newer.
Yes, yeah, and he had a pentagram as his display pic. I'm like, okay, I'm guessing the Crowley episode brought him in. But maybe he'd been a listener for a while. But in either case, Cale, thank you very much. And, of course, Gummo Wallbacon, a friend of ours, also known as Necro Cannibal Ass Grinder.
Also known as Trash.
Also known as
That's
Trash
right.
Dick.
We got a good one, though, tonight. Joey in the cage, fighting to the death. Who do we got?
Necrophile lawyer, that's hilarious. Ted Bundy, and he's going to go up against our own Chicago's H.H. Holmes
Yes.
with his fucking crazy. Well, he's not going to have his hotel, but
Right.
he was known for his hotel wars.
Right.
That's his weapon. He gets his whole hotel.
The whole hotel is in the cage with him. They're going to be fighting with 2 objects and a variable. We get some good objects on there, Chris. We got the can of corn, cell phone, which isn't going to do very good when Vlad the Impaler has a chainsaw coming at you.
Not going to help at
We
all.
got bear traps and shit.
Yeah, rusty bear traps and just fun stuff in there. So thanks to the listeners for providing the random numbers that generates who we got going up and fighting and what they're fighting with. Thank you to everybody out there listening. Keep seeing the good numbers rolling in, right at about 2,500 listens total this week. So thank you guys very, very much. And speaking of our listeners, congrats again to Christy Grand for winning the contest last week.
Man.
Yeah, that was great on Facebook.
And she responded in time to get the
She
bonus
did.
prize. Dude.
We gave her an extra prize if she responded within 48 hours by email, which she did, and she got my Creation of Chaos 3 book, an 11 by 17 poster, and a bookmark, and I signed all of it. I gave her a thank you letter and some stickers, the activity book, and she got brutal care package sent her way.
Right,
so
nice.
we appreciate that. Down in Tampa, Florida.
I'm going to talk about a brutal care package later in Mayhem
Awesome. Okay.
to our buddy Rick Ring.
Nice.
I got something to talk about.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So, Chris, Joey, Brian, we got a lot on our plate tonight. We're going to be taking a short trip to Champaign, Illinois to see what's happening with the Dark History and Horror Convention coming up. So, Brian, what the hell do we need to do?
Let's get our murder on.
Dude, Joey, you just threw this one down on us, man. Exalume and their song, The Bits of Maniac, Chris, about our boy, the chessboard killer.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
He's out there
awesome.
killing.
I saw The Bits of Maniac, and I'm like, could it be?
Got pushed.
And sure enough, Pachushkin, the chessboard killer. So
No, that band's
really
fucking
cool.
sick as hell.
They are amazing.
And they only
man.
have the one album, the one demo out, or the EP out right now.
Right.
But whenever they came out, like I was fucking like blown away by them.
Yeah.
And then it fucking came back up in my history on my YouTube.
Okay.
And that's whenever I posted it for you.
Yeah.
CK.
Yeah.
Then I saw that you got in touch with them though.
Right, yeah.
'Cause I didn't know if
the
they were
guitar
still doing
player.
anything
Yeah,
like that,
they're
but-
still at it. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Andre the guitarist, he was all about doing an interview, and
Shit, yeah.
his English seemed good. They're from Finland.
Finland, yeah.
But man, they pronounce it Exalume, which is apparently the song that is sung at the very end of Dracula when he's being chased.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
where that
Exalume.
comes from. So
shit.
that's
All
kind
right.
of
From
interesting.
Dracula's Brides.
Yeah,
No,
very,
super
very
cool.
fascinating
It was
stuff.
it was so fucking ironic too. All this happened. I literally that day watched, or the night before, me and Pete talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
watched Dracula.
That's crazy.
The original one. So fucking like. Then this popped up. I was like, oh, the Exalume, and then fucking.
Yeah.
It was just weird irony. In
It
there.
is, but if you dig like death, maybe a little bit of Carcass I hear in there. I hear lots of death metal. They remind me a lot of In Malice's Wake.
Yeah, with some thrashier
A
riffs.
little bit of thrash, but mostly old school death
Yeah.
metal, like Morbid Angel, like that kind of shit.
Right.
Pretty wicked. Good stuff. So, all right. Well, we got Brian in here with us in the studio, in the flesh. We got him here because it's that time of year to talk about something that we all love, dark history and horror, and it's all in a convention, Chris.
All in one fucking room. packed
wrapped up
together,
into
let's
one.
go.
that's right. That's right.
So he's going to give us a little bit of a preview of what to expect there, some of the backstory on why he's doing this, the history of the whole thing, and what we can expect on Saturday, October 23rd in Champaign, Illinois. So Brian, about how much sleep these days do your eyelids see in a given day?
In a given day,
Because you work third shift.
I work
so
third shift.
That's a mother.
I have found when I'm getting home, I can take about an hour and a half nap, and then I get up for a few hours, and sometimes that few hours turns into far too long.
Oh, man.
And then
Lacking on the sleep. And I
Yeah,
see you
yeah.
traveling all the time too. Fucking-
yeah, and I try to go to bed. It's about an hour drive to work, so I try to go to bed about 3 o'clock so I can get up about 10 o'clock and head. These past couple of weeks, it seems like my brain tells me that's 4 hours and that's enough, and I get all this shit spinning around in my head on
yeah.
the convention stuff. Did I do this? Did I do that?
Oh,
Did I-
sure.
I'm sure it gets really
And
hectic the closer
that's
it
what
gets.
it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, as far as who we got and what's coming up, That's the easy part. It's
Yeah.
it's just making sure that they all have what they need.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
to
Yeah, you
present
got
what
a
they
lot
need
of
to present.
people you're trying to make happy.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chris, we did our first Dark History and Horror Convention in 2018, and then we did 2019, and then last year, of course, was canceled because of COVID. But what, Chris, what was your experience with that? I know you really loved it.
Dude, I thought both years we went was amazing. Like getting to meet new people,
Right.
and checking
Yeah.
out everybody else's like artwork and what they're totally
yeah.
into, and lots of awesome artwork going on. And
Good relationships too with like the guys from the Black Crypt podcast.
right,
We still work with
talk
Brad
to
Tucker.
them,
Nice.
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, Brad did 2 of my audio book. For my audio book, he did 2 of the short stories
Oh,
for
awesome.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did see that one.
Yeah,
when
so
that
it
was
was
going
cool.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, 2019, I took my youngest daughter with me, and she had a blast. So like,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, everything here is
Overload,
awesome,
yeah.
Dad. Like, I'm like, I know.
Right.
Yeah, it's like there's just almost too much there.
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
It's just like, how much can my brain stand? Now, Joey, these conventions just seem to be a huge hit with fans of the horror genre. What do you think as a fan, this kind of stuff does for, somebody that's just maybe getting into this sort of thing?
I think they're pretty important, and people come to these things, and especially like you're talking about somebody who's a newbie to the whole situation, so everything that they're seeing is like fascinating and new to them. But the coolest thing is, I mean, like you have, actresses from movies or authors from books or things like that that are things that like you're involved in reading or checking out yourself. Then all of a sudden you can interact with somebody who is involved with that. I mean, that just opens it up to a whole nother level, and also I would think would spike the want to try to continue on with that as you get older.
Exactly,
I mean,
yeah.
surely for me, cons weren't really a big thing whenever I was coming up. I mean, they had them, but you probably had to go to bigger cities and stuff.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like
But as I
Vegas
was
and
getting
LA and
older
shit,
and into
yeah.
my 20s when I was able to start going to that, I mean, it was just fucking an amazing experience. And
Right.
now I've got tons of fucking autographs and pictures with, certain people that I consider fucking, iconic to me.
Oh, sure.
And it's really cool how it brings everything all together.
Yeah, I think so.
I like what Brian does too, because not all of them either. Because a lot of what I'm talking about, some of the bigger cons too, but some of what Brian does is he's interweaving a lot of the local culture too. Because there's enough of the dark stuff that comes from our area. Or
Yeah,
around.
that's a cool
That's
part
what's
of it.
really
That's a
fucking
good
awesome.
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to be going solo this time because, Chris, you got a wedding to go to, and Joey got stuck having to go to work,
Fucking
which
work.
sucks.
Fucking weddings.
My wife's going to be there for some of it. My son Joe will be with me for the duration.
Hell yeah.
He's going to be helping me out. And so it should be a great time. Definitely excited to see Jeff Gaither again in the flesh. He's been a friend since 2001. Actually, the month I found out I had cancer, I met Jeff, and he started doing artwork for Low 12. So I've known Jeff from the bottom of the bottom, and he's just been a good friend. And John Borowski's going to be there. Of course, he's a friend. I met Steve G and Angelo the last time we did one, and I'm anxious to see him again. And then Donnie, of course, our buddy from
Weimer,
Killer
yeah.
Culture
Yep,
Shop.
yep.
Gotta
That is
love Donnie.
Awesome, dude.
I'm going to have at least a C note in my pocket for Donnie.
Just for
So
Donnie.
I know I'm going to need
Right.
it. I know I'm going to need it.
And I think I just saw that he just announced, and that this sucks that I can't remember which one it was. There was one that was just one of his designs that was just show exclusive that now he's put on his website, and I cannot remember. I think it's maybe.
Oh.
I think it's maybe. Maybe it's the or maybe Today Satan. It might be
Might-
that one, or
It might be. I know he just posted something. I
Yeah,
can't remember
yeah,
what
exactly.
it-
And I can't remember
I
which
can't
design
remember what the
it
fuck
is,
it is.
Huh.
but I know he's got more stuff than we saw last time we saw him. So
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. All right. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Now, Brian, how did you get started doing these? I know we've talked to you about this before,
Sure.
and I know we could probably be here all night if we wanted to get
Yeah.
into tremendous detail.
yeah.
So give us that elevator pitch, the 5 to 10 minute rendition of what's the whole basis of this.
I can keep that pretty short, I think. I did not know there was such a thing as true crime type conventions. I've been into true crime since junior high. I'm going to be 48 this year, so better part of 30 years I've been
Right.
following this stuff. And I don't know how I stumbled across it on Facebook, but I'm probably following Borowski's page. They used to put on a show over in Indianapolis called The Crime Scene. They did 3 of them. Merle Allen was part of it, and all those guys.
Nice.
I went to the 3rd one at Birdie's Bar over there, and it seemed like maybe it was starting to wind down. All the guys, the principals behind it were Borowski, Joe Hiles, Matthew Aaron, and Rich Hillen. So after I went to that one, I kind of saw what is possible to do here, and I wanted to try to bring it something like that over here to our area. So I messaged each one of those guys and said, hey, do you mind? I won't use that name,
Right.
but I kind of want to use the concept
Kind
of
of
a
the
true
structure
crime
of
thing.
it, yeah.
Is it okay to do that? Because I didn't want to offend any of them. And
Sure.
every single one of them to a man came back and they're like, hell yeah, do that, man. So,
Cool.
So we started off, I did I think it was about a 3.5-hour show at a VFW in Rantoul, Illinois.
All right.
That had about 36
Hey.
attendees, but everybody thought it was
Been there, done
fantastic.
that. Yeah.
So the next year I was able to step up and I got hooked up with the Fluid Event Center when they were open. It was a big event center in Champaign. Did 2 of them there. I kind of have bounced around venues now, but every year it's grown. I mean, from that time when I think I had 8 guests and 40 attendees to now I think I've got 25 people that I call guests, and then I think we're at 80 something total vendors. So
Wow.
yeah, so it just keeps going up every
Yeah,
year. And
that's awesome.
I think the impetus behind it was I wanted to, like Joey was talking about, I wanted to introduce true crime to some people. There's a lot of stuff around here, but there's a lot of stuff that people just don't know about, and it is history. I mean, whether we like it or not,
Right, it's a
an
real thing
historical
that
thing.
Yeah,
happened.
and
that
I
really
mean,
happened.
honestly, here in Illinois, we've done a number of cases of Starved Rock murders.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We've done some really good ones based right here. Our first show, the #1 podcast and listens we've ever done, the first one on David Hendricks, the
Right,
case
yep.
here in
Yep.
Bloomington. And then we did my back home hometown case, the wood chipper murder
Oh, yeah.
in Newtown. So we've done our share of the local stuff, and there's been a bunch, Joe. We've done
Illinois is a fucking hotbed.
the
for such
Peoria,
shit.
the state hospital, the mental hospital in Bartonville. I mean,
Larry Bright.
we've done some, Yep. We
Yeah.
did do Bright.
Yeah, serial killers and death metal, man.
Yeah.
Big around here.
Exactly. And in Chicago, that's its whole other animal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's still
Yeah.
Illinois, but we could go on all night about all the ones we've done that had ties to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh,
tons.
not even still in
Tons.
Illinois. They just tied to Chicago. So.
Right.
Yeah. Now, Chris, we know how hot true crime is. I mean, we see it with our own podcast, but what do you think it is that true crime just keeps, just for certain people, man, they just can't get enough?
Basic white chicks.
Basic white chicks.
He is not wrong. Seriously, look at the demographic.
Bob Weiss from Shakers, he says the same thing.
Yeah.
18 to 35, college-educated females.
That's the
Well, for
That's
real,
the
like
big-
the fascination about why they fucking did what they did. And,
Right.
Like, what the fuck's going through your mind when you're tying somebody up and sticking sparklers in their penis? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck,
Yeah.
dude? Like, what's
Exactly.
going through this person's head?
Yeah, that just fascinates people. It's the whole slowing down to see the car wreck, but in this case, it's, man, what makes a person do that? Like, holy crap, and just when you think you've seen it all, then you see the Russian doll, the fucking dude that you mentioned, that the guy that dug up the bodies of little girls and made them into human dolls in his house.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
what the fuck?
that's
man?
just fucked up,
Yeah.
Or like the eyeball killer, we did him, earlier, was it this year or last year? I can't recall now, but anyway, we've done these cases that just makes you go, holy shit! Like, I don't think I've ever heard
Right.
that one before. But anyway. So, Brian, what are some of the new things that you've introduced here? I see the tattoo artists are back, which is
Yes.
cool. And I remember seeing them when I went in 2016 or 17.
Yeah, it was
I can't
only
remember.
one previous time that we had them.
Yeah.
This year I talked to a few that seemed interested. It looked like it was possible.
Yeah.
There's all those loopholes with the state that
Oh,
Because
yeah.
of
I
health-
didn't want to.
health standards. And
Yes,
shit,
that
yeah.
fortunately, I found some people to help me decipher what the hell some of that stuff meant. So,
Awesome.
Right.
So we have that.
How many of them are there?
Unfortunately, only 3 this go around. We had 4 because I didn't want to have it too heavy
Right,
on
right.
tattoo artists. We had 4. Unfortunately, Skylar Hyatt had some things come up, so he will not be there. He's from Southern Illinois. But we have Angel and Crystal coming down from Beloit, Wisconsin.
Nice.
Cool.
And Justin Brewer, who's here in town. His new place is Nightfall Gallery. He's the one that did my arm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
your
talked
tattoos
about
are
him
fucking-
before.
Yeah,
He's
so
fucking
Justin's-
amazing.
Yeah, so Justin's going to be there.
Killer.
Still got the Film Fest. We do have speakers and panels. I guess maybe as far as a newer thing this year, which is kind of going back to my roots, is every speaking slot except for, I believe, one is true crime related.
Right.
I know in the past I've had like authors and artist panels and celebrity panels. This year I was talking to my true crime people and they're like, hey, can I do a presentation? Hey, and it worked out that that's what it all ended up being. And I was
that,
like,
which is
and I'm like,
awesome.
hell yeah. So
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get to one that you guys are going to like a lot.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's just new vendors. I
Yeah.
I haven't introduced anything new to the formula, so to speak.
Right.
Right.
But yeah.
Now you got some really, speaking of the vendors and the people
yeah.
involved, the talent that's going to be there. What's I mean, we know there's like 90 of them, so you're not going to
Right.
go through the whole list,
Right.
but let's give us that top tier, the ones that people definitely going to want to make it out, and then maybe a couple of just got to mention just because
Sure.
they sound really cool, because there's other podcasters that are going to be there
Yes.
too.
Yep, there sure is.
So
But I think I'm going to start just knowing the where you guys are based at. Susan Rovens and Jesse Krenner with Prison Mix.
Right on.
awesome.
They hooked up, and so they're going to be there.
Oh, great.
Dennis Preston's going to be back. I think his company's still called Preston's Perspectives. Easy for me to say fast.
Right.
If you remember, he does a lot of effects makeup, and he makes his
Oh,
own
yeah,
props
yeah.
and everything. I think he was behind you guys.
I think
in
so. Yeah, I think
Okay,
you're
I
right.
think you're right.
Yep, he'll be back.
Cool.
Let's see. Curious Baubles, Amanda Sears over in Peoria. She's first time and she's a sponsor, so that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Zachariah Messiah Creations. We have always had some like bone artist, vulture culture type of people. Zachariah actually uses tarantulas and insects to make some cool ass shit. I mean, some of his stuff, he have it in a frame. It'll be a tarantula, but it'll have little gears by each of their feet, so it's like a steampunk.
Like I was going to say,
tarantula.
like
Yes.
steampunk shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That
So-
sounds badass.
Yeah,
It
that
looks
sounds cool.
pretty badass. We've got a number of paranormal teams, I think 3 or 4.
Right.
We will have Bodine the Bigfoot. We will have a Bigfoot there from LEP Productions. Great artists. Midwest Monster Fest, a friend of mine, Jeff O'Neill, that puts it on up in Moline. He does a fantastic job. He's going to have a booth there. One that I'm really looking forward to meeting, and you guys need to hook up with. I hope I don't butcher his last name. His name is Jeff Ignatowski. He puts out Killers the Card Game.
Oh, cool.
You guys got to check that out.
Oh, wow.
I'm not much of a gamer. I told him, I was like, can I just get the cards?
Right.
So he's got all these killers, gangsters. He's got little expansion packs, and it
Really?
tells you what their specialty is and what their kill rate.
It's kind of like magic or some shit.
exactly right. But you got killers as your
Oh,
as your
cool.
players.
That's
Oh, that's
fucking-
kind of cool.
Yeah, I just
So-
want the cards. I don't get into the
That's,
gaming.
yeah,
shit.
that's
right.
exactly what I told him. I was like, hey, could I have that? And yeah, so
Oh, wow.
I've got his first run of the serial killers and
Oh,
the
cool.
gangsters, but he's introducing an expansion pack that's going to be all female killers.
Nice.
Goddamn.
So yeah, he's got
Awesome.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
going
definitely
on.
want to get him in with him.
Cam Johnson, I know you guys probably remember Cam and Zach Atkins. They're a couple artists that I've kind of always have. Another new one from up by Moline, the Quad Cities, Death Stitch Custom Clothing. I'm really looking forward to having these guys. I've seen them twice now. They take a flannel and then they take a graphic tee like what you guys are wearing.
Right.
They'll cut out the graphic and they'll stitch it on the back of a flannel. And
Oh, wow.
that's their little niche, and they're popular every time I see
Yeah.
them. People buy the shit out of these shirts.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
My wife has one it's got Pinhead on the back. It's just hers isn't a flannel. It's just a black button-up shirt with Pinhead on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty kick-ass. Atomic Cotton, our friend Zach Kaufman, they are large on the convention circuit. That's pretty much what they do is travel around. They have all kinds of graphic tees. They design some of their own. They make a play on some original type stuff, like some of the 80s horror movies. They'll have the neon '80s type
Lettering
graphics
and
behind
shit.
them.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
So
Nice.
they do that. Genius Book Publishers, I have to mention them. They're coming all the way from California, and they're bringing 3 of their authors.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
They are true crime geared, but they also do some dark fiction and poetry. So they're going
cool.
to have some of that. They do have a I can't remember if it's just called the Killer Activity Book or the Serial Killer Activity Book, but they have an activity book that's got these guys in it that they're going to be bringing.
Sweet.
Nice.
None of us, well, Chris might, but Chris is not going to be there. Sorry. Old World Vending, I just met him last month. He's into all the Viking Celtic type culture.
Oh yeah,
He
Pete
has
would love
all
that shit.
he has all natural beard balms
Oh,
and,
right.
and deodorant, and he does like men's care products, but it's all natural, and
Oh, that's
it's a
cool.
throwback to the old stuff. Yeah, and
Just so many fucking more.
yeah, I was gonna say there's just more. You guys, I can't even get into some crystal dealers. There's gonna be my wife doing tarot and a couple other readers
Cool.
there as well. So
That's crystal like the rotten, not meth.
Not
Oh,
meth.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
of our, any of
Yes.
our weaker
Yes.
listeners, don't come
No,
there.
don't
expecting to
come
buy
there
some
for
We
that.
had some law enforcement from
Yeah.
from Australia said they listen,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
but I
Yes.
think we're okay here. But
Yeah, it will
but
not
we're
be
not
that.
talking about the illegal stuff.
I do have one that I got hooked up with. I believe she pronounces it Sias Jewelry, although it's not just jewelry. She has a lot of smoker geared
Yeah.
Cool,
Oh, right,
cool.
stuff. So I
Awesome.
kind of want to see her stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, anything you can.
She do all glass stuff, like her jewelry and the pipes.
She's got that, but she's also got. I can't remember. She had this whole little set of something, and I can't remember what it was because I scroll through these guys'
Yeah. Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
Right,
and it's
you
just
get
so much that
just
I
so
try
much
to
it's
keep
gonna
in
get
there.
all
Right.
mixed
I
up
used to
the
be
whole time.
terrible with names, but now ever since I've been doing the convention, I'm great with names because I associate. Okay, that's what this person is.
Yeah.
So it kind of sticks. Two more that I would want to get hit on real quick. Remakes Plethora. I met him through Atomic Cotton. He does little action figures. He puts them on his own backing with a little plastic bubble thing.
Right.
And some of them are in very poor, but we love it taste. I bought the Jim Jones one from him.
Oh, no
because
way.
the cardboard backer is a blown up grape Flavor Aid
Nice.
package,
Nice.
And it's just the Rev. I mean, nothing.
We got some
bad about
Flavor Aid out
I
here.
saw that. That's
Yeah.
why I made sure I wanted to mention that. But he's got like a Laura Palmer that he's done. But he's also did he makes a play on things. There's one that I am so torn on what I think of this one. It's a Led Zeppelin Leonard Skinner album cover, and it's a burnt up wrecked plane is the thing. And I'm like, I did it, but so it's that kind of humor.
Oh,
Right,
so
right,
you'll have
yeah.
to check out
Oh,
his
definitely got to
have
check
to
that
check
out.
out
What's he
his-
called again?
Remakes Plethora. The gentleman's
Remakes
name is Lee
Plethora.
Parker.
Damn, I wish I could
definitely
fucking
gonna,
go.
Yeah.
Definitely
We'll
gonna
have to
go
send you
check
some
that
pictures,
out.
Chris, because there's all kinds of
Yeah,
shit
you
he's got.
definitely gonna have to, man. Because Jesus.
And then the other one that I want to make sure I mention is Dust Bunny Mafia. I have hooked up with Brett. It's fantastic. He does little comics that are animals, but they are based on real gangsters.
Oh,
So he just tells gangster stories with these
With the little-
cute little
Yeah.
oh, that's funny.
yeah,
all
with these
bloody
cute little
rock.
dust bunnies, and it's just wicked. He's got
Huh.
little packs that are cigar boxes. He's got some Vegas style chips. He's got a lot
cool.
of merch that is gangster themed.
Yeah.
and,
Nice.
That's
and we
sweet.
need more of that. in
Yeah,
our-
I think
we
that's
haven't
cool.
had too many gangster
No,
things
we haven't.
there. So
That's awesome, man.
I'm really looking forward to that. one.
Very, very cool. Yeah, and of course we mentioned Jeff Gaither's going to be
Jeff
there.
Gaither's gonna
John
be there, John
Borowski, Steve
Borowski.
Gianangelo.
Steve and John tells me. Do you guys remember who Rick Staten is?
Yes.
John tells me Rick is coming with him.
Oh, very
He
cool.
just dropped that on me this week. He's like, "Hey, I
Wow.
got Rick coming too."
Yeah.
Joe Hiles, if you've seen Serial Killer Culture,
Yes.
Joe Hiles is coming over from Ohio. Joe is known as the godfather of murderabilia, even
Oh,
though
yeah.
I have discovered in this line they hate that. It's
Yeah.
not, they don't like that term.
Right.
But Joe did the talk show circuit back in the early 90s. Sally Jesse and all those. Was on one with Adam Walsh.
For being a
and-
collector.
Yeah.
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 Why
and
do you?
He always
collect
went to.
all
He always
those?
ended
Yeah.
up being the whipping boy on all
Right,
those.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joe's coming.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of names there.
Oh yeah.
Definitely want to come check it out. And of course, we're going to have our own Murder Metal Mayhem booth. I'm going to have our T-shirts, both styles, the Jeff Gaither one that we had done, and then the old original version. I'll have that there. I'm going to offer some deals. If you buy both, you get one like for $5. We'll be also selling the adult activity books, the color of Ricky Casso, Joe Matheny. We had some good ones.
Dude, now
there.
I want to get another book and color it like your shirt, though.
I know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's intense.
Yeah, that shirt is
It's intense.
the background that they picked out and the way they've got him done up. Yeah, I mean, it's so fitting.
Yeah, the colors are
But you
really
just
over
don't.
the top.
I don't know why you've never seen somebody think to put that together before. That whoever put that together is a genius.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'm going to have a really good T-shirt, I think, picked out for the occasion. So come by. Also going to have the arm, Chris, the Murder Metal Mayhem forearm that we had Spellbound Effects and Art. Tony got a hold of me.
Oh, did he?
He's been hired by a company in Germany. He's over there now. He'll be
he's
there
in
for
Germany.
a month.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Doing this big setup for escape rooms and shit.
Fucking A, man.
And then they're flying him back.
Good for
So
him.
he's like, all business is on hold at Spellbound.
Right, I'm on this big fucking
Right,
job.
I'm
here.
on this job, yeah. So
gotta
hell
make it
yeah to
like
Tony.
It's right.
He said he's going to get a hold of me when he gets back, and he wants to get back on and become a sponsor
right.
again. And of course, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some good stuff there. You get to see the forearm. Going to have all that stuff, stickers, free bookmarks, all sorts of cool shit. I'll have all my books there, both or the 3 short story collections and then the novel. So I'll have everything with me. So come by and see me at the table. And we got a lot of booths. Like I said, almost 90 different booths. So a lot to see in one day. So you want to get out there. It's starting early, 11 o'clock,
11
which
a.m.
is great,
doors,
till 8 p.m. So, Joey, our stuff is a big hit with the metalheads as well as the horror fans. And I think we kind of, with a lot of this stuff, you see people kind of crossing over, drawing from other audiences. What do you think about you think you're going to see a lot of metalheads coming out to a Dark History and Horror convention?
I mean, I think that pretty much both the groupings of those, classifications definitely meld together.
Right.
People that are into metal a lot of times are into dark history and horror.
Right.
You get a lot more horror fans that might not be into metal, of course.
Sure.
But most horror fans will be appreciative of the metal culture.
Right.
And, bringing it together is just a fucking cool thing.
Yeah, I think
our
so.
show, like some of the best shit about our show is like whenever we're talking a metal segment and it brings up something about metal.
Right.
Or murder, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
vice
they
versa.
cross over a
right.
lot.
That shit's fucking cool as hell and, fucking ties it for us, but also gives somebody else who maybe needs a little bit more of a push to check it out, a reason to do so.
Shit, 2019, Brian had metal bands playing at the end
Yeah,
of the night.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I've had people ask about a post-show party, and again this year,
Coming
out of COVID,
coming out of COVID, and
coming
shit,
out of the
and
COVID
everything,
year,
I mean,
it's just things.
I think that's
are
a smart
different,
play. Yeah,
and
just
it was just a little.
show a little bit of restraint. It
Right.
always gives you the option to do that next
Exactly.
time or
Exactly.
however long it takes for this crap to go away.
Right.
Now, Brian, I see you have some good panels going on this year. So while all this convention is happening, you've got some panels
Yes.
in a different part of the hotel.
Yeah, they're actually the way the venue is set up, which is great. They just opened in September 2019.
Yeah, this is the I Hotel,
So,
Champaign,
I Hotel.
Illinois.
You're going to want to go off, if you know the area, you're going to want to enter off of St. Mary's Road, not
Okay.
the First Street address. And it has a big ass sign that says Illinois Conference Center. That's the one. It's all glass front. The idea is I have 2 people that have hearses that I'm friends with. They're going to bring their hearses and park them out front. So you should be able to find the entrance.
Cool.
And the way the place is laid out is you will come in, either get your tickets or show us your tickets to get your hand stamp. Directly across the hall from you is going to be the main hall where all the vendors and everybody else is at. There is what they call a breakout room, a separate room that's going to have the film festival, and another
Cool.
separate room that has the speakers and the panels. They'll
Awesome.
They'll all be clearly marked.
Awesome. Very,
So-
very cool.
So yeah, the
Yeah, what are some of the panels? I know there's some really good, like you said, true crime stuff there.
I'm just going to run down them real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, they start at noon. Each one of them is going to be 45 to 60 minutes long. I truly only have one that would be considered a panel. The rest of them are people doing presentations. The first one is Ron Murphy. He's known as the crypto guru. He's going to be doing a history of vampires. Francesca Maselli, she's coming up from, I believe, Arkansas. She's going to be doing, you guys I'm sure are familiar with the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case.
I saw
we
you
did that
post
one.
these that
Yes,
they're
we
beginning
did
to
that
come
one.
in.
Yep,
Yeah.
hers is just called The True Story Behind America's Sweetheart Murder. E.J. Hammond, I don't know if you guys have had any contacts with E.J. or not. She has a blog that's called Confessions of a Bundy File. She's been writing about Ted for years. She has a book, I believe, coming out next month about some of, it's basically Bundy in Florida. She's talked to Ken Katsaris and Kathy Kleiner, one of the survivors from the sorority house. She's going to be doing one. She came up with the name The Real Ted Bundy, The Truth Behind the Golden Boy of Serial Killing is going to be her presentation. Judith Yates, I've had Judith a couple times. She's going to be doing When Nashville Bled, The Untold Stories of Serial Killer Paul Reed. 4 o'clock, very excited to have David Thibodeau, Waco Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So-
bring my book with me.
Yeah, so Tibbs is coming back.
Yeah, we interviewed him in 2019.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. We did that.
Yeah, because he was pretty much right
19,
across and down from you guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we
yeah.
did that podcast on Koresh, and we incorporated some of that in
And
there.
he gave you that CD with the,
Yeah, with all that Koresh stuff.
Yeah, I got everything.
Yeah,
David
that was
had to offer.
badass.
And playing up to the music, I don't know if when I first started talking to Thibodeau on the phone, he's Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all his
Right.
stuff, and he's a drummer.
Yeah.
So he loves. He's like, yeah, I like all the older metal type stuff.
That's why him and Crush were like, hey, man, let's jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
right.
I mean, they fit in well, and yeah, Tibbs is going to be back, and I'm really looking forward to that. 5 o'clock, I've got John Ferrick. John was from the Joliet, Peoria area. He has, I think, 5 or 6 true crime books. His specialty tends to be evidence tampering, police corruption, wrongful convictions. He's done a few books on that. His most recent one being The Wrecking Crew, about Kathleen Zellner and Stephen Avery.
Oh, yeah. I
shit,
saw
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, I saw you post that
so
one up
his is
too,
going to
yeah.
be Stephen Avery and the dilemma of wrongful convictions. And then rounding out the lineup at 6 o'clock is the serial killer culture panel.
Right.
So that'll be Borowski, that'll be Joe Hiles, that'll be Steve G, Jeff Gaither, and it sounds like Rick Staten, who was, for those who don't know, Rick Staten was John Wayne Gacy's art dealer.
Right,
When he
right.
first was in prison and started doing that stuff, Rick hooked up with him and would put on the art shows
Right.
outside the walls.
Right, right.
So, and those guys, of course, are all seen in Serial Killer Culture documentary. So
Right.
John Borowski tells me it's the first time these guys have all been in the same room in years.
That's
I can
cool.
only
So
imagine,
it's
dude.
it's
that's
going to be
pretty
one of those
awesome,
things
yeah.
that I guess I'm having the Serial Killer Culture reunion, which is pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
If I do say
no,
so
that's
myself.
definitely
awesome.
one I
So,
want to watch.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that'll all
Very
be going
cool.
on at the same time. The film fest will be going on, and I dropped the ball on bringing the some of the titles. I fucked up, Pete. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You've done well so far. You've done very well.
Yeah, but I do
That's
know
okay.
You
also
don't
on
fuck the baby.
yeah. I shit the bed or whatever else. I wanna say,
Goddamn,
yeah.
son.
Yeah.
You fucked the baby.
But I do know the Film Fest it's got a sprinkling of everything for our selections. We had
Yeah.
over 27 hours of films submitted, and I had to whittle that down to 7.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking tough because there's a lot of good stuff.
But it's all indie stuff.
It's all indie stuff.
That's
I know
cool.
one of them that made it is as a retelling of a Poe story, but it's set, and I would want to say the teens or 20s.
Oh, cool.
It blew me away.
I'd like to see that.
There's a couple documentaries, both of them on genocide. I mean, one was Greek
Real
Village.
uplifting.
Yes, exactly. But falls into my dark
course.
history, and I felt
Of
like
course.
they are subtitled because they are from Europe. I mean,
Right.
one is from Greece. It's about a little village in Greece that the Nazis wiped out, and another one is from Hungary, about a Hungarian issue that I knew nothing about. So I learned a lot watching that one. It's one you
Interesting.
don't hear about. It's the Austrians, Hungarians, Czechoslovakians, and
Right.
and their own infighting and how they, after everything's dying down at World War II, Germany's on the retreat, Russians coming across. They're like, you know what? We don't like the Hungarians. We're sticking them over there, and they did the exact same thing to them that
Oh, wow.
that we know about from Russia and Germany.
Right,
That shit was
right.
happening on a, I guess you could say, smaller scale, but nonetheless still ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like
right
fucking-
there in a
like you
regional
said,
area.
genocide.
Interesting.
So we've got
All right,
those,
good
and yeah,
stuff,
some other
man.
true crime stuff.
I mean, holy
other
shit, there's a
horror
lot
movies.
going on
There
here,
is
Brian.
a lot going on.
And people can get tickets online. We're
They
going to
can.
put a link in our episode description for that.
Yes.
And they can't just show up and get tickets at the door, right?
Absolutely, that has always been my.
And what's the
biggest one.
price of
It
admission?
is $15. Children
Oh,
12 and
dude.
under are free with an adult admission.
Nice.
We do ask if you could try to keep it to cash. I think maybe one of our people has a little square reader on their
Yeah.
phone. They do have an ATM in the hotel portion if you guys need that. But
Right.
and cash, like they say, cash is
Cash
king.
is
and
king,
so,
man.
it
Yeah,
always-
no, that's cool.
that
All
works
right.
out the
Well,
best, so,
$15 for all that, for
$15.
God's sakes. That's a great
$15,
deal.
little man.
You're right.
That's a legit deal.
That's right.
Now, Chris, speaking of horror movies, I mean, definitely, the time of year to be watching them. What's in the top tier of the ones that you always bust out maybe in October, just like wanting to fucking check out some good shit?
I mean, I just randomly watch horror movies in general.
Terrifier, I know, is one. that you're-
Terrifier is seriously one of
That's
my
sick,
fucking
man.
favorite fucking movies, dude. You've seen that, right, Brian?
I actually have not seen
Oh,
Terrifier.
wow.
My bad.
That's a
I
good
have
one.
not.
Dude, that's a
that
good
movie-
one.
I
Whatever
don't know
service
why.
it was on, I had it saved, and then it fell off of that service, and I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
for
since.
Is
what-
the new one out yet, or is it?
No, the
No,
new
not
one's
yet.
not out yet.
Okay, because I really want to see the new one. Yeah, love the first one.
We were watching that, and then there was me and Joey. This is a while ago, but there's the movie short that came out before Terrifier with Art the Clown, and we found that and watched it, and then it's a whole anthology called what's it called? All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a
Nice.
bunch of
Cool.
shorts with Art the Clown in it, and it's fucking badass.
Oh,
I love
wow.
that shit.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then Joey, I know you've been watching some horror movies. I saw today was Children of the Corn, one of my cheesy faves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Malachi.
Yep. I'm a
He
huge
wants
fucking,
you to Malachi.
huge fan of that one. I mean, it's the Corn. It's fucking one that I've been watching since I was a kid. It's
Out here in the
fucking.
corn
Oh yeah,
It's
we're
Stephen
in the
King.
corn.
Yeah, everything about
yeah.
it was like fucking man made for me. But yeah, I watch horror movies all the time anyway. But I do like October because I showcase some of my collection and shit, and I always show off what I'm watching every day. And so it's early on in October right now, so we got a lot more to go. But I'm gonna bring up 5 Halloween movies that I've watched in this time
Okay.
period. One of them being Terrifier, which Chris already
Right.
brought up.
Nice.
As far as a newer movie, that's one of my favorite ones I've seen, and I'm very excited for
Yeah.
the second one as well.
I am too. Yeah.
Another one that I watched was Trick or Treat in 2007, which that movie's just
yeah.
fucking great. Anthology, fucking done very well with some fucking bigger name actors and actresses, and really creepy fucking story. And I think it was at a time that fucking the genre was lacking a little bit for like newer Halloween movies. So when that came out, it was like, fuck yeah, kind of fresh.
Just had that on the TV last night.
Hell yeah, fucking necessary. The third one I was going to bring up. Now, this one's called Tales of Halloween, and it's also an anthology, and there's 10 of them. I had never seen it. I don't stream or fucking anything like that. You know, I'm old school.
Old school, hard.
All I've got is DVDs. Like, I'm broke as fuck. But this one I fucking caught at my girlfriend's house because, you know, I was checking out Amazon Prime, and I fucking saw that one pop up, and I saw, you know, it had some people involved in it. Adrienne Bordeaux, Lynn Shay, Barry Boswick,
Nice.
Joe Dante, fucking Barbara Crampton, Adam Green, Mick Garris. Like, all of them are in it and shit. And it's 10 different fucking directors, and it was really, really good. So Tales of Halloween, I'm pretty sure it's probably streaming now, so check that out. It's from 2015.
Okay.
And then the other 2 that I watched now, I already said Trick or Treat. Now, Trick or Treat, now I watched that one, and that was, you know, about the metalhead kid
Right.
who fucking was getting picked on, and he got the fucking last record from his iconic heavy metal fucking hero.
Right.
And of course, Gene Simmons is in it, and fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
And that movie's just fucking, it's so cheesy,
Yeah.
but it is one of the greatest fucking movies, and, you know, mixing the metal with the, with
sure.
the horror. And then the last one I was going to bring up was Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which is from 1981. Now, this is a movie that I fucking saw growing up, so it always fucking resonated in my mind. When I was able to find the DVD like later in life, it was fucking awesome. But that one was actually a made-for-TV movie, and the director, he wanted to fucking put it out as a fucking single entity feature, but CBS bought the rights for it, and they said that they fucking did very, very little changing of the script, which was cool. So you basically see it how it was, and for a fucking made-for-TV movie, it's one of the best to me. And I mean, it's got fucking Larry Drake in it, he was the Santa Claus in fucking Tales from the Crypt, and he was also fucking Dr. Giggles. So
Nice.
Yeah.
so those are like 5 horror-themed fucking Halloween movies, that I watched.
Yeah, very cool. I watched Sinister and Sinister 2 the other night
Hell
with
yeah.
Jenny. Those were really good. Also, we watched Hellfest,
Hellfest.
which is awesome. And I got to still say, though, The Exorcist for just the ultimate and scary to me. And then also The Shining for the psychological stuff. Loved it.
Dude,
what?
fucking, what's his fucking wife's name in fucking The Shining? I can't remember. Is it
Wendy.
Mary?
Wendy, yeah.
Wendy. I seen this fucking meme today that said the most suspenseful thing about The Shining was Wendy's cigarette ash.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking ash is hanging all like this long.
Bro, you watch the special features and you see how fucking
yeah.
much trouble they had with Shelley Long.
Oh,
through
yeah.
that
She,
movie
like,
and
lost
shit.
her mind after that.
Yeah.
Franchises I love, though. Halloween,
Hell yeah.
Hellraiser. There's lots of them out there. We just watched the original Halloween last night and Halloween 2. So
I'm getting
digging
excited.
it.
I think probably fucking Thursday. If I don't go see it in the movie theater, which I want to, the new Halloween movie.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Friday or Saturday.
Evil Bob, he's gonna, because you can get it on the streaming service or whatever.
Right.
So Sunday, I think we're all gonna go over there and watch it there too.
Oh, cool.
Fucking get a group of people together and watch some horror, which
Yeah.
I miss doing that shit.
Yeah, for sure. I also got a book on. We were talking about Aleister Crowley last week,
Yes.
and got his one of his short story collections. And there's a story in there that has been said it's the scariest story ever written, called "The Testament of Magdalene Blair." And I'm about halfway through it, and it's really good.
yeah.
I was very
scary?
surprised. I'm not frightened yet, but it's building.
Yeah.
Very Lovecraftian, early 1900s, very similar in style to like the H.P. Lovecraft
It's hard to
stuff.
compare our desensitized brains to the people in the 1900s reading that. Like,
Right.
what the fuck is this evil shit in my hands?
Yeah, but I mean, I was really impressed with what I read, so anxious to check out more of that. But it was called The Drug and Other Stories, which I got it on Amazon. It wasn't even that much.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of short stories in there. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Brian, anything you wanted to add? Anything we left out?
I realized I didn't really hit on any of the celebrities.
Oh, yeah, get
Well,
on
why
that,
don't you?
yeah.
We definitely don't want to leave the
So we need to
celebrities
do
out.
that. Yeah, so we need
So
to
who do you
that. My headliners are. This one might be a stretch for some people. They might want to know what he's doing at this kind of convention. It's Corin Nemec. I remember him as Parker Lewis Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember him.
I love that show. But if you look at his filmography, and I actually own, it's called the Chicago Massacre, Richard Speck.
Yeah.
He played Speck.
Oh, nice.
And for a B movie where I'm extremely anal about serial killer movies,
Yeah.
I want them to be
Right.
right.
Legit, yeah.
And it was really pretty close. I mean, obviously nobody really knows what took place in the
Right.
with the nurses that night, but I liked where it went. I liked how he did in that one. I have not seen the one where he's Ted Bundy in another one.
I was gonna say I love the one where he's Bundy.
Is it?
personally.
Okay, I've heard mixed reviews, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I'm not gonna say it's like factually correct, but
Okay.
it kept me interested.
And he also did one about the Boston Strangler.
Yep.
So he's been in a number of these movies.
He was in Killer Bud with fucking David Faustino.
Yep.
And
Sure was.
And Danielle Harris is in
And
there.
he's done a number of what I would call sci-fi channel type flicks. I mean, he's got one Mansquito and some other things along those lines. But
Lake Placid versus Mansquito versus
that's,
Anaconda.
yeah, there you go. And he's also, for the mainstream folks, he was in Stargate SG-1. He was in Supernatural, I think, for 7 episodes. He plays a demon that I think is, forgive me, Supernatural fans. I think he was some kind of relation to Dean and Sam. So he's in that. John Dugan, Grandpa from the original
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw
Right.
Massacre.
Right.
We've had John before. John is a fantastic guest. He's a great guy.
Cool.
You get a chance to. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him previous, or if that was one you guys weren't. Get John. He'll tell you stories. and he's great. First time for me, we're going to have joining John as this kind of a mini
This is the
reunion.
one I'm most pissed I'm not
Yeah,
going to fucking
yeah.
be there.
Pam, the meat hook girl,
Yeah.
Terry McMinn is going to be
Yeah.
joining us from Texas. I've met Terry once before. She's just the sweetest as can be also, so I'm really looking forward to having
Pete,
her.
I'll
on the
pay
show.
you to give me an autograph picture.
I'll try it. I'll try
I'll
it.
buy it.
She'll hook you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll get you. And semi-local guy, Bishop Stevens out of St. Louis. Bishop's been at the show a few times. He's got a number of projects coming up. He's worked recently with Malcolm McDowell, Gary Busey, Michael Perret. He's been working with a lot of Robert Lasardo, Tara Reid. He's done a lot of filming
He
lately.
parties.
Yeah. So he's going to be there. As far as actors go, that's I've got some indie actors. I got Wyatt Weed coming back. Wyatt Weed was one of the Predators in Predator 2 at the end of the movie. Wyatt's fantastic guest, and
Cool.
and yeah, just a lot of true crime ones that I mentioned in the speakers lineup. Those guys are going to be there.
Yeah.
A couple other authors as well. So
Awesome.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but we
really
gotta-
wish I could. I'm gonna beat my nephew up for having to get married.
Yeah, and it was funny too because as soon as we knew the date, you were like, "I can't do it" because you knew that you had that wet.
Nephew's
It
wedding.
was like the
But-
one date that got picked, but it happens, man. It happens. All right. Well, next week we're going to be doing a remote show. We haven't done that in a long time, so that should be fun. We're going to be in Bloomington, Illinois, at the Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop, but they're going to be closed. So don't come down there like beating on the door because it'll
But after
fuck
you-
up the recording.
After you hear the episode, though, you can come
That's
down.
right. Make it a point to come down there and check it out. We're going to be doing the episode on witchcraft and in a store like that with all the baby coffins and the
witchy
creepy
stuff.
shit. Yeah, it's definitely going to be cool. So anxious to do that. We're going to have the owners of the store, Mike and Stephanie Stoltz. Mike's been a friend of mine for a long time. I've known Stephanie here for a few years since they got married. So also, I'm going to be there on October 30th, which is a Saturday, the day before Halloween, doing a book signing there from 1 to 4. So we got this coming up, next week's episode on witchcraft there, and then I'll be there the week after that, a couple weeks after that, on the day before Halloween. So a lot of shit going on there. Just the cool thing. Try to support the local store, friends of ours trying to make it go. I know that's not easy. So the Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop, Bloomington, Illinois. All right. Now, Brian, I know you're also doing a podcast now. You want to give our listeners a little what's going on with
Sure.
that, man?
before I get into that, though, I have a request to make of you, Pete.
Yes.
If you're doing that witchy one, and I know you like to do karaoke, can we get some Eagles, Witchy Woman?
Yeah, that might be a good one.
In Pete style?
That might be a good one. Yeah, I think
Please let
that's
me
a
know
good
if you
idea.
do that.
All
I
right,
need to do
all
that.
right.
Yeah, it's
That's your first request?
Yeah.
really. I
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
honored.
I've had people request before, but not like on the show.
Right,
like
right.
that. So that's cool. No, that's a
All
great
right.
suggestion. I think I'll do it.
Nice. Yeah, it's silly little podcast. It's simply called Dark History Time with Brian. It's just myself. It's another little passion project, another way that I wanted to try to bring some of the lesser known events in dark history
Right.
to people's attention. I have not even done a serial killer yet. I think that's going to be next, but I want to make it a lesser known. At least I consider them lesser knowns. I think I'm going to be doing Mullen and Richard Chase.
Nice.
Going to throw those guys. I think fit well together.
Yes.
They're quick little 15 to 45 minute podcasts. I think the longest one was maybe an hour. We broke one up into a two-parter. I interviewed a psychic medium. I've hit on the Tulsa Race Massacre. I've hit on I don't know if you guys have done the one on the San Ysidro McDonald's Massacre. Did
Oh,
McDonald's
and I know what
Massacre.
you're talking about,
yeah.
but we haven't done that.
California.
Yeah.
Yep.
McMassacre.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Macabres.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
that's cool. And it's a weekly, you said?
Every other week.
Every other,
week
okay.
on Wednesdays. I think we have it set up to hit at noon on Wednesdays.
Okay.
This month might be a little sporadic, just because
Sure.
Because of the con, for sure.
I've
Yeah.
got my con next weekend. This upcoming weekend, I'm going to be at DeadCon in Fort Wayne.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I'm actually from this one. I'm going to go record a little promo for the convention on my pod to drop tomorrow.
Nice.
But that might be the last one of October.
Right.
And
Oh
then
yeah,
we'll-
you
then
fucking
we'll get
busy,
in.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a lot
Yeah.
going on. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's
very cool.
It's just an upstart, but
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
awesome,
interested
dude.
in dark history, not just serial killers, of course
Right.
they will be in there.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
check us out. I know we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google. We go through Anchor
Right.
FM, so yeah, it's out there. I think I've
Very
probably
cool.
got 8 or 9 episodes out already. So
Okay.
Dark History Time with Brian.
Awesome,
Yeah, check
man.
it out,
Very,
people.
very cool. Now, Joey, this is always where we love to bust out some good page of days.
Yeah.
Do we got any that we
Yes.
want to do here?
Yeah, I got a little bit, and it's pretty cool because
Because Brian's got page of
I was
day,
going
too.
to say
Yeah.
Brian was
Yeah.
saying that he had the same fucking one, which one of
Yeah.
our listeners also told us that.
That's right.
So yeah, no, that was really cool. Yeah, page a day, keeping us fucking busy. I've only got a couple of them. I didn't want to go too crazy today because I knew that we had Brian in the studio. I wanted to give him his time, so everybody go out to Dark History and Horror Con. Do not miss it. Now, a couple of them that I got were just fucking sayings, which, as you see, Brian over here on the
Oh,
wall,
yeah.
I take some of my favorite quotes that they give
Yeah.
us,
Some
and I
good ones up
just
there.
put them up on the wall because they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I love that top one. That when I came across that one, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
No, some of them just cracked me up. So I had two of those today. One I'm going to say at the beginning and one at the end. So the first one was from Mark Twain, and he said, "There is no distinctly American criminal class except Congress." And I thought that was good.
That's good.
Yes.
That was a fucking
That
good
is
one.
good.
So the next one, they're talking about the murder of Adrian Shelley. So this is November 1st of 2006, and there's she's an actress and a filmmaker, Adrian Shelley, and she's found hanging in the shower of her work studio in Greenwich Village. So they originally think that she committed suicide, of
Right.
course, but her husband, he's like, hell no, that's not what happened. Like, he knows what's going on with his wife. He's like, that's not possible. Like, you look into this more. So they
Right.
do take a closer look, and they realize that there's a fucking sneaker print on the toilet seat next to the bathtub.
wow.
And it matches, there was construction going on in the building around her, and it matched it to some of the shoes down there. So they arrest this 19-year-old construction worker named Diego Pilco. And he initially said that he killed her after she was complaining about all the noise that was going on because of the construction.
Wow.
But later he admitted that he had followed up to her apartment where he was going to try to rob her, but she ended up catching him. So he assaulted her and rendered her unconscious. Then he staged the suicide. They said that with the autopsy that she had been alive whenever she had died. So he put the fucking
she was-
whatever around her neck and then
hung her
fucking
while
hung
she
her
was
and
still
killed
alive.
her.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So he pleaded
Jesus.
guilty to first-degree manslaughter and was given 25 years without parole. I didn't understand how he got manslaughter for that.
Yeah,
That's
right?
fucked up.
But
That's
she ended
fucked.
she did the movie, or not the movie, but the play Waitress, which came out posthumously and became a huge like Broadway musical and shit. So,
Right.
so at least like that came out of it. So that was
Right.
good.
Wow.
Where am I at? Okay, so another one we're talking about is Stephen Pladel. Now this case right here, this is definitely fucking maybe fucking worthy of us too. But
Nice.
it's just a fucked up one. So this happened in this guy's from North Carolina, Stephen Pladel. He has a daughter named Katie Pladel, and she's born in January of 1998. So she was given up for adoption almost as soon as they had her. I think there was drugs involved with him
the
and his wife, and
right.
they adopted her out to out-of-state parents. She, when she's 18, she gets on social media and she learns who her fucking parents are, and she gets in contact with them, and she eventually goes to fucking live with them, and in Richmond, Virginia. So this is like August 2016. She moves in with them. Steve Pladel, he starts dressing like hipper. He's wearing like fucking tighter jeans. He's trying to
Oh
look
my
all
God.
fucking right. And fucking like right before all that, he started sleeping in her room. Like him and his wife were having problems, so he started sleeping in her room on the floor. Like that's where he's sleeping. Steve and his wife, they legally separate in November 2016, and the wife ends up moving out. So on May 23rd, 2017, his wife reads in one of their other kids' fucking journals that fucking Katie is pregnant and that Steve Pladel's the father.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit.
So she's like, and he's having the other kid, because like they would come visit him, right? His other children. He would have them call her stepmom.
Oh,
Fucking
wow.
weird shit. So
That's
his
fucking
ex
weird.
confronts him, and he admitted to impregnating her, but he said that he planned to marry her, so that it was okay.
Jesus Christ.
Right. So
What the fuck?
So, in January 27th, 2018, both of them are arrested for incest, adultery, and contributing to the delinquency.
You think?
They both bond out.
Right.
They both. I don't know, and they had like $1 million bonds
How
and
the
shit.
fuck
But
they
both of them
bond
got
out
out.
from that shit?
Damn.
So, in April 12th of 2018, in Knightdale, North Carolina, the police respond to a wellness check on the home, and I think it was from one of the grandparents. Was like, they've got this baby, you know, what's going on?
Right.
So they go to the home and they find the 7-month-old Bennett Plato murdered. Homicide. And almost the exact same time, 600 miles to the north in New Milford, Connecticut, they responded to a shots fired call, and that's where they found Stephen and Katie dead in a pickup truck with North New York plates from a murder-suicide.
No
Whoa.
shit.
So fucking incest, murder.
Damn, New
fucking
Milford,
all-
That's
Connecticut.
fucking
That's right by
crazy.
CK.
Yeah, no, it's right up by there.
Yeah, goddamn.
So that was a fucked up story.
Page a
Stephen
day.
Plato with his
Yeah,
incest
that's a
shit.
good one.
And then the last thing I had, I said I had one more quote, and the reason why the fucking page today was a little shorter too is because they go into a huge thing about fucking the Amityville horror, which I'm going to break into next week.
Okay.
Like I'll bust that out. But
Cool.
the last thing I'm going to say was a quote by Ronald DeFeo Jr. And this is whenever he called the 911 call. He was like, "You got to help me. I think my mother and father are shot." And that's all it says. But that's so fucking good.
Right? You think they're shot? Yeah.
I mean, you shot him, bro.
Right.
Damn.
So yeah, page a day. And,
Page a day is good
I was
stuff.
telling you guys, I ordered the one for 2022.
Awesome.
This was a gift that somebody gave to
Yep,
me.
mine was too.
And I just started looking at it, Dave, and I was like, "Holy shit! There's some fucking pretty cool shit
Yeah,
here."
there is some
And I
good
started
shit.
bringing it out on the show, and now it's become a thing.
Oh man, we did the San Francisco witch killers from that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And then we did the feather thief, and we've done.
We've got Vince Lee coming up.
Yeah, Vince Lee. So yeah,
Yeah.
some good stuff. All right, well, I think we've done our fair share of murdering tonight. I hear that music, so CK is getting ready to throw down. Brian, thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
very
coming
much.
in
Yeah,
and
thank you,
sitting
man.
and chatting
Appreciate
with
you.
us and talking about the Dark History Convention. And your wife has been amazingly just
yeah.
chill over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Not like having your brother Chris in here with the opening cans and
I open
scrunching
cans and
shit.
shit.
You know? No.
Fucking humming Disturb songs. while-
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, Brian, why don't you tell us what the hell we need to do?
Pete, I think it's now time to get your metal on.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and Murder Metal Mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wild Man Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal, punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization, the one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Kovacs!
There he is, the great metal motherfucker. What's up, CK?
Oh, yeah.
Over there in
What's up, gentlemen?
Danbury, tearing it the fuck up,
Hell yeah.
terrorizing
Got 'em.
Wild Man Street.
I'm all here in Studio C,
Nice. Studio C.
set up with my engineer,
Awesome.
my wife Laura.
Hell yeah, dude.
She helped me set up, so
Awesome. Very cool. And you got your Yeti, and you're in business
we're
over
all
there.
good.
All right.
Last week I wasn't able to, but this week I am.
And the
So it's all
tracks
good.
always sound better when you record yourself,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like the professionals do. All right,
Yeah.
CK. Well, I'm anxious to hear about a band I know absolutely nothing about. I listened to some of these guys. Some of it I thought was cool. Some I'm not so crazy about. So not a band I would probably listen to, but I'm always interested to hear something about some band I don't know anything about.
I think when Fear Factory was first coming out, I think actually no, you were discharged already, I believe. So you were around. But
Yeah, 94 I got out.
yeah, and they put out the first album in '89 or '90.
That band
But,
was huge for like me and Chris's time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
were coming up in
Yeah,
the metal, that would have
yeah.
been a big band at the time.
Yeah.
And that always has a huge influence.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
big time.
We always had to remind ourselves of that in Low 12, is a lot of these bands we were playing with are young,
Yeah.
And they weren't around when I was listening to Ozzy and Dio and Maiden and shit like that was brand new. And these kids were playing with, they know Slipknot because that's what was the thing when they were coming up,
time,
you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the
it
biggest
makes a
thing.
difference, you know. It really makes a difference. So,
And not just in your area, everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
right,
all over.
of course. But you're talking about a band that that a lot of our listeners probably like.
Yeah, it's a band out of L.A. Fear Factory.
Fucking right.
Kind of hard to describe. They have a little bit death metal, little bit of industrial.
Yeah, I definitely could hear the industrial slant, like Ministry type stuff.
Yeah, well, a little bit of Ministry, but not much. But they formed in
I mean, honestly, there's
89.
kind of a little touch of new metal in some of their shit, too.
Yeah, just a tad. I'd say they kind of have a plethora of influence.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But they formed in '89. First as Ulceration, then Fear the Factory, then finally Fear Factory. The original lineup is was Brittany C. Bell, Dino Cazares, Christian Old Wolbers, and Raymond Herrera on drums. So that was the original lineup, and they went on to record the recording tracks for a debut called Concrete. But I guess the label that they were on at the moment wasn't too fond of them, so Fear Factory was able to get rights to the tracks and dissolve the contract with whatever record label they were going on. So what they did was they re-recorded most of the tracks on Concrete and signed with Roadrunner Records.
Yeah.
And back then, like, Roadrunner was, like, really huge for some of them bands.
Oh yeah, they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like major
That
label
was,
stuff.
that was the label.
Right.
And again, they put out an album called, God, what's the name? Well, it wasn't Concrete because that was put on hold. Soul of a New Machine in '92 with Colin Richardson producing. And that was definitely more of a death metal.
Yeah, that one's
H2
pretty heavy, dude.
And I love that album. But the second album, which was the one that
Blew up.
pretty much made them, was Demanufacture.
Yeah.
That
That album
album's
was
fucking good as shit.
awesome. I mean, that was their album. And I don't think they were able to really follow that up over the years. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think I like Obsolete a lot too. Like the
I do.
next
But
album.
I don't like
But-
any of them as much as D-Man.
No, Demanufacture's like the fucking goddamn Fear Factory album.
I
It's,
mean, I
okay.
dig.
it's the shit.
I dig the other albums, but I just
Not
don't
like
think
that
they.
one.
Ever
I
able
just
to
think-
match it.
I just think they don't hold up to Demanufacture.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's like their fucking style was like just so different. Like you said,
wa-
with
it
the
was
industrial
different.
feel to it, and just fucking, it was so
Industrial
fucking
death metal.
good. Yeah,
Um,
I had that cassette tape in my fucking car and shit. Like for so far, I remember when I was roofing that out when that album came out, dude. Just like, holy fuck, I'm up on the roof, fucking just jamming the shit out of it and shit.
I mean, that album just fucking blew my mind at the time. So I never heard anything like it.
Right.
And after that, I looked so forward to the other albums. And like you said, the other albums were great too. I liked Obsolete.
Yeah, Obsolete's really good.
I thought it was a great album. But again, it just didn't hold up to Demanufacture. Same with Digimortal. After Digimortal, the contract for Roadrunner was up, and they signed with Liquid 8 Records. So they're starting to lose a little traction at that point. Things were changing. And they just, I think they kind of lost their feel a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, that archetype wasn't anything bad. It's still Jam too, but it was just a little bit, couple rungs below the other albums on Roadrunner, to me.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but
Yeah, I do.
I just think they lost a little bit of their edge at that point.
It happens, man.
And during around this time, what I think they had to fulfill one album, so Roadrunner put out the Concrete demos.
Right.
Well, tracks, they weren't really demos, but they put them out, and that album fucking ruled. That was so much better than Soul of a New Machine, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's cool. I'll have to check it out, man. Like I said, I don't know much about them. The little bit I listened to, some stuff I thought was okay, some stuff not so much.
Yeah, and the still on the same label. And a year later, which was pretty fast, they put out Transgression, which to me did nothing for me. I just could not get into it.
Yeah.
And it was, now they're starting to go to label to label.
Right.
And that's not usually a good sign.
Right.
You kind of lose your consistency, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they were on hiatus, broke up, came back together, and recorded Mechanized, which wasn't very fond of. One, I believe they used I think they used a drum machine on that album.
Talking shit about Joey's music?
No. It doesn't work for
Yeah, for what they were at.
Right.
for what they do,
Right.
But they hit again. Signed with Candlelight AFM Records, and put out a decent had a drum machine. It was a step above the last album. He put out The Industrialist, and that's what kind of sounded like Industrialist. That was definitely I would say definitely a big influence from Ministry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
2015, he put out Genexus, got back to the roots a little bit more. They had a drummer back, more going back more towards what they were doing before. A little bit more organic as far as having the drums. I enjoyed that album a lot.
Yeah.
And, and just last year or this year, I think it was this year, they put out the last album that they put out is Aggression Continuum. I thought that album was fucking great.
Well, that just came out this year, and I actually haven't even heard it
Yeah.
yet.
I'll have to check that out.
I thought it was definitely a good album.
That's cool.
Again, a full band. And now they're in dispute. Britton C. Bell left. Said he would never play with them again. Supposedly, Britton C. Bell's going to put out the album that they recorded with Britton C. Bell in a couple months. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that's never good. That's never good. Now, CK, you've got a Lost Classic for us tonight. What's your pick tonight?
Real quick about Fear Factory, the manufactured album. The year after that, in '96, do you remember they put out Remanufacture with all the remix,
with the
all the remixes? It's like very industrial, like techno kind of, but it was all
interesting.
The Remanufacture songs, all just totally remixed.
All remixed.
Oh wow!
Which I mean, White Zombie did that.
Right, White
Marilyn
Zombie's done that,
Manson
all
Yeah,
that shit.
everyone was doing it at that point.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My Lost Classic is the great guitarist Gary Moore, Victims of the Future. Phenomenal classic metal hard rock album. He's been around for a while.
Oh yeah.
And that was done in like '82, I think. And he had a couple albums before that, and this album really hit hard. Definitely hit hard.
That's cool.
He's been a guitarist for Thin Lizzy.
Right.
Eventually, he went towards the blues genre, and he passed away in, I forget what year. 2008. I gotta look it up real quick.
Yeah, I remember when he passed, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
I was going to say at least 10 years.
Oh, I think so, yeah. I think it might have been more than that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's a hell of a guitar player, man. I mean, very influential on a lot of people. Bring up Gary Moore from
2011.
2011, so 10 years. I was right.
Exactly, 10 years.
Very cool. Victims of the Future.
Yeah, he was responsible for a lot of influences in metal and music in general.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, well, I hear that 666 music, so I think that means we're going to talk about what the fuck we've been listening to.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, 666. Our buddies in Onslaught providing that, and that means, Chris, we're going to talk about what we've been listening to lately. Chris, what about you, man? Over there at the Nation, you guys are always jamming it.
I've just been listening to a lot of random stuff again, as usual. I just fucking whatever. But for real though, that fucking Salt CD
Yeah, you said you liked that.
is so fucking good, and I listen to it so much, and it just grows on me. And that's fucking our homies here in town. But the quality of it's great. It's fucking black metal shit, but
Right.
it sounds so awesome. The album Solt, S-O-L-T, Void Sick. It's streaming on fucking Spotify and shit. Check it out, dude. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
The name of the band is SOLT, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
S-O-L-T, and the album's called Void Sick.
Okay,
It's fucking so good, dude.
I'll check it out.
Like, for real, it's been in my girlfriend's Jeep fucking nonstop, constantly.
That's cool. Anything else? Joey, what about you, man?
I was jamming an Exoloom, which we've been talking about them, fucking from Finland.
Hell yeah.
Fucking great band. I was glad to fucking revisit that.
Oh, man.
Then I brought it up before. It's not the metal shit, but that Pavement Crooked Rain album. It was in my car for fucking ever. It was one of them ones I got from that guy randomly from eBay, and just a fucking good album, like fucking feel good album. And then in the car right now from Germany, I got Meat Knife Junkie Town, which is a fucking
Hell yeah.
partying ass dope fucking brutal death metal CD with a little bit of Tupa Tupa in it.
cool.
Sounds like a tankard sort of band.
Right. Yep.
What about you, CK?
That Exaloom, which is killing it.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Still the New Carcass.
Hell yeah.
Some Exodus. And the fucking Maiden I'm still jamming.
Yeah, it's good. I've been jamming the shit out of that Exaloom, man. I can't believe how good those guys are. I actually ordered their album, the full
Hell
length.
yeah.
I ordered
me
that
too.
album on
Nice,
CD.
nice.
You did too? Yeah, I really like those guys.
It's got to be good for you to order it.
Yeah, it is. And the EP, that's a couple years newer.
That
is
is
good.
fucking amazing. Like,
But I
every
wish it was
track's-
more. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like I wish it was full length
The
album.
songs are so good.
The
on it,
songs
though.
are great. Both albums are really good. I
Yeah.
really dig those guys. So,
Little
also,
on the expensive side, but buy it.
yeah. Creeping Death, I really like those guys out of Texas. They got a new
They kick
EP
ass.
that just came out called Edge of Existence.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucking sick, like old school bolt thrower type stuff. Really badass, like those guys. And also the New Carcass. And I have been listening to Maiden, also Peace of Mind.
Nice.
Actually was jamming when I was
Yeah,
cleaning the
going
fish
old
tank
school.
this time. And also some Exodus, Fabulous Disaster. I was jamming that when I was cleaning the fish tank too. Kind of cool. Listening to Cajun Hell and some of those
yeah.
songs off that album. Just good shit, man.
Just for
All
the
right.
new album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I'm going to say real fast. I just want to bring up the mellow sex. And if anyone's listening fucking knows more like personal specifics, I'm not trying to talk shit anyway in this post because I wasn't
Yeah,
there. and
you
whatnot. Right. But Las Vegas, their new Death Fest happened this weekend, Sin City Slaughterfest. And I just want to say that it looked like a great time. All the bands said they had a great time and everything. But the thing is that there were two promoters that came together to form this thing. And at the last moment, one of the promoters fucking ghosted the whole fucking situation and just fucking, I don't know what he
boy.
did, but he fucking left the whole thing sitting in
Right.
somebody's lap. And
Oh,
the somebody whose lap it was in is the guitarist for Mortician, Roger. And he's a fucking great guy. He has a metal store that he fucking has open out in Vegas right now.
Wow.
So you can go fucking to his primitive recording shop and fucking check his shit out. But anyhow, he got left with that, and then on top of all that, the first day of the fest, his mother passed away.
Oh my God.
So
Shit.
he had all that, and he still dealt with it, and the fest, was a success, and everybody had a great time. So
Wow.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Roger for
Yeah,
fucking
that's
Mortician.
crazy.
Yeah,
man.
that's definitely stand-up guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's terrible that it happened.
Right.
But cool of him to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure. Well, we talk about our 666 Club a lot because it's a great thing to do. Our Patreon supporters, $3 a month. You get the shows a day early. You get the karaoke stuff when they're done. And discounts on merch and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So,
Dude, all of our fucking, everybody that we personally know that's a member, they fucking love that shit.
Yeah, they love it.
Mason and fucking Michael and
Yeah.
Stephanie. Stephanie gave us Reese's peanut butter cups.
that's right.
We
Thank you,
did.
Stephanie.
We were out of Pop Tarts from our fans, so
That's right.
Fans, send
Need
us
some
some Pop Tarts.
P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745.
Yes.
So yeah,
Who's dropping the ball with the Pop-Tarts?
I
I don't know, man. Somebody
We
needs to
had
send
some
us some.
tonight, thanks
Yeah, I
to
brought
Pete.
them out.
Yeah,
I busted them out. So, also our new shirts. I'm going to have these at the Dark History Convention. The Gaither shirt's going to be cool, and you can even have Jeff Gaither sign your shirt because he's going to be there too. And I'm going to have the old school, the first shirts, the ones with just Chris and I on them, and so we'll have the activity books and all that stuff. So you can get all the merch at the con. If you're not going to be there, you can get me on Facebook or email me at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com and I'll get you the info. All right, well, we have done plenty of metal tonight, guys.
Yes, we
CK,
have.
what the fuck do we need to do?
We need to get our Mayhem on.
Hey, y'all looking for a job? Are you a transient, vagrant, looking to make a couple bucks for an honest day's pay? Give us a call at Copeland Farms in beautiful Moonsville, Missouri. You'll never want to leave.
I learned a lot staying with Ray and Faye Copeland. I learned about financial stuff with Ray at the cattle auction, how to balance a checkbook. I also learned how to dodge a bullet when he tried to shoot me in the back of the head when we got back to the farm. I become a quick son of a bitch.
Get out in the fresh air and become one with the farm. Call Copeland Farms at 1-800-KILL-DRIFTERS.
They'll even let you dig your own grave if you want. Now, ain't that nice of them?
Been a while since we heard a little Copeland Farm commercial.
How drunk was I?
Oh my God. Yeah, right? That's from 2020. That was fun. And before that, of course, Fear Factory, the Church of Execution. So, all right. Well, that means, guys, we're in Mayhem, and we like to be in Mayhem. It's a friendly place for us. And we usually tell some stories. Joey, you said you had a little bit of mayhem
I got
tonight.
two little fucking things. One of them is an update of something I've been talking about.
Oh,
fucking neck tattoo.
Fucking neck tattoo.
Dude, let me tell
Oh, my
you.
God.
Let me tell you about neck tattoos. So, the last time I was talking to you guys about her, I told you that she had come up to one of my new bosses and fucking
At the new store, yeah.
right,
yeah.
Right.
So after that, I get to talking to the fucking actual store manager about her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, fucking yada yada yada," telling me shit, and he was like, "Yeah, she fucking called corporate on me one time because I didn't say hi to her, or she said that I didn't say hi to her." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Wow.
so I'm out working on the floor, like right after we have this conversation, and she like goes out of her way to come up to me and hand me a product, and like, "Oh, there's no tag on this. I just thought you should know."
Right.
And turns around and walks out of the store. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, first off, this ain't even the shit that you come in looking for, the Ray Dunn shit, so you didn't care about this anyway. And then one of the other coworkers, she's like, "Oh, she probably tore the tag off herself." And I was laughing about
Right.
that. But it was like
That's what I
she
would say.
yeah, but it was like she came out of her way to come see me, you know what I'm saying, just to like put herself in my face.
Right.
And then it made me think about what my boss had said about not saying, you know what I'm saying? So I seen her the next day, and I made it a point to be like, "Good morning, how are you doing?" I said something to her.
Acknowledge.
Oh my God! So now after that, like the last
Oh, my
couple times,
God.
she's in there like every morning, like I said. And now she thinks we're fucking like best friends or something. And she's coming up and she's like, "So, why'd you leave your other job and fucking whatever the fuck else she's talking about?" And I'm sitting there like, "Bitch, you tried to get me fired like fucking 5 times. And I have to be fucking nice to this
Right, I
person."
don't even like this
Yeah,
shit.
so goddamn neck tattoo. So I'm still fucking ranting about that.
Why not?
Right. So anyway, so the second thing I got, now, a while back, me and CK have talked, and fucking Pete too, about some of our horror stories with the post office with packages. And
Oh, yeah.
how they're taking a fucking long
boy.
time, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I said, the longest that I've ever had a package out was fucking 3 months, and that was to Germany, and it ended up showing up. So our listener, Rick Ring from Tasmania,
Right,
he fucking
right.
loves our podcast. What's up, Rick?
Yeah,
But, so
fuck
he's
yeah,
fucking,
Rick.
he's awesome as fuck. He orders the fucking activity book, the Mermaid Mayhem activity book from me. I get him a package fucking put together. And I send it to him, and now it's been over 2 months. You know what I'm saying? On the 22nd, it'll be 3 months, so we're
Oh
pretty
my
close to
God.
that. So, last week I had told Pete, I'm like, I'm gonna grab another activity book because I want to send him out a second package,
Just in case,
because I
yeah.
feel bad, and. Like you said, Pete, you're like, why don't you just track the package? Which I've never really had to do that because I've never had too many issues. So I did. I tracked the package.
Oh, okay.
So,
oh, no.
Yeah, I've got the route right here, and I fucking
Did it go to White Plains, New York?
Let me tell you the route. Let me tell you the route.
White Plains, Chris.
So Rick has not got this package yet. I did see from looking it up that it is somewhat close to the destination. So I have faith that he's going to get it soon.
Good.
Like I said, it seems like there's some kind of 3-month bar where they're just like, okay, but let me tell you all the path that this package.
Oh, boy.
The Murder Metal Mayhem activity book. If this shows up at his place in good condition,
Be a
I'm going to be
miracle.
stoked. Yeah, because if it's not, I'm going to send him another one anyway. Rick, I got you. But so this is it. July 22nd, Bloomington, Illinois. That's whenever I turn it in.
Right.
July 22nd, it departs the post office. July 23rd, it ends up in Champaign at the distribution center.
Okay.
It leaves the distribution center the same day and arrives at the Chicago, Illinois Logistics Center. The next day, July 24th, it arrives in Jersey City, New Jersey, at their distribution. It leaves from there the same day. So then, July 28th, 4 days later, it just says, in transit to next facility. Where does it end up at? White Plains, New York.
No way. White Plains, New York?
So
Are you fucking kidding
right.
me?
It leaves White Plains, New York at some point and
my
ends
God.
up on August 2nd
I was
back
just
at
kidding around.
No, it went there.
Oh my God.
So July 24th it leaves or July 28th or whatever, it leaves White Plains, New York. It ends up in Chicago, Illinois on August 2nd at International Distribution Center in Chicago.
God.
Oh my
Nice.
God, dude.
It leaves that distribution center the same day. August 3rd, it's processed through the Chicago, Illinois International Distribution Center. And it says September 19th, a month and fucking 16 days later, it says arrived, Chicago, Illinois. That's all it says.
Wow.
And then it says departed, Chicago, Illinois, the same day.
Oh, okay.
September 21st, 2 days later, it departs Fort Worth, Texas. September 23rd, 2 days after that, it departs Tokyo, Japan.
Oh my God.
It goes from Tokyo, Japan on the 28th of September to Brisbane, Australia
Nice. Okay, it's in Australia at
on
least.
September 29th.
It's out of the country.
October 1st, it's processed through the facility in Australia.
Right.
October 8th, 7 days later, it's delivered to Australia. So that was a couple days ago. So I told Rick, I said, it's in Australia.
Right.
I'm giving it.
Tasmania's close.
I said,
yeah.
give it another week or two. 3 months is the longest.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I wanted to
That's
share
pretty
it.
cool.
Chicago.
White Plains though was
Yeah.
good.
Plains
That
and back
was
Oh
to
my
Chicago.
Yeah, I could. When I saw
Jesus.
White Plains, I was dying
Oh
laughing.
yeah, that's awesome.
But our activity book fucking making it around
Yeah,
the
we
world.
could like almost say that was like a tour, like
Yeah.
a Murder Metal
Yeah,
Mayhem
hell
tour.
yeah, shit.
All those stops, you know.
God damn.
Oh damn, that was good. Very, very good. I've got that Creation of Chaos 3 book. It's out there on Audible, iTunes. It's on Amazon. But if you buy them from me, you get a signed poster and bookmark with it, and still getting orders. So thanks everybody that's bought it. And if you dig audiobooks, Chris, like you and I listen to,
Yes, sir.
Audible is a good one. iTunes and Amazon, and you can buy them that way too. And I'm going to be doing a book signing on Saturday, October 30th. I mentioned this at the Painted Wraith Curiosity Shop, Bloomington, Illinois, from 1 to 4 p.m. So that'll be cool. And we're going to be there next week. And CK, you're going to be calling in. Hopefully the ghosts
Yep.
and the witches don't mess with our connection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
know, right?
you're going to be on that one. That should be a good. That should be a good one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, we had Brian on during our murder segment to talk about that big dark history convention in Champaign, Illinois, Saturday, October 23rd at
Definitely
the I
check it out.
Hotel. Yeah, Champaign, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's only one day, and we'll have the link to purchase tickets in the episode description. But I will be there at the Murder Metal Mayhem booth, and I'll be selling my books and all the Murder Metal Mayhem stuff. So come by, and I'm going to have the forearm there with me. People love checking out the Murder Metal Mayhem
Oh
forearm,
yeah.
and so that should be awesome. Also, I've been updating you guys, especially now that I'm not doing Voice of Dread at the moment. I'm still working on Deeper Than Dead. It's coming out great. I'm 70% done. The first half is edited down quite a bit at this stage of the game. So when I was down with the surgery, I went through and did a lot of editing that I could do it with a red pen. And then I spent a lot more time with it. So it's really coming together. Stephen King always says a good story tells itself. The good characters just kind of tell you what they're going to do. And he's exactly right, because at this point it's on fire and it's just doing its own thing. And it was a slow start for me. I had a lot of things to figure out how I was going to do this. I'd never written in characters that are not human. So this is kind of a total departure with demons and fucked up shit going on.
Spiritual shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
More
crazy.
human than human.
And a really disgusting pet named Sylvester.
Hell yeah.
That's a sewer rat with
talk shit.
bird wings that repeats things like a parakeet, or a parrot. So he's really fucked up, and it's a fucked up story. He eats human charred human fingers. So that's
Hell yeah.
his thing he likes to eat. So, all right, Killer Cage match. We got a good one tonight. We have some listeners, Chris. We always
once
love to
again,
thank you.
Hell yeah. Once again, we got Michael Bain, Cale Kurzweil, and Gummo Wallbacon.
Nice. And they, of course, give us some random numbers because we got this list of 70 killers, 70 objects, and 15 variables. We switch them out now and then. And our listeners pick random numbers, and that's how we know who's going to fight tonight. Joe, we got an interesting matchup.
We have Ted. His name's Ted Bundy, and he's going up against H. Holmes from Chicago. So
Yeah.
Bundy versus Holmes.
Yeah, it should be a good fight. And CK, they got a couple of good objects here. One that's coming back, good, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. With a cast iron skillet and a gun
Ouch.
that shoots high pressure semen.
That's
And I
pretty
think we
fucked
just
up.
had this variable.
We did?
A coke whore with herpes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the listeners pick, the same number from one week to the next. So
This is what it is.
Cocor with herpes, that could be interesting. So we've got Ted Bundy and H. Holmes fighting to the death in a cage with a cast iron skillet and a gun that shoots high pressure semen. And we got a Cocor running around in there. I don't know what she's going to do. Chris, you're looking very serious, like you're trying to really analyze this one. What do you think? Just
Analyze.
physically, though, Bundy and Holmes, do you think any one of them's really got much of a... It seems almost kind of even, really.
Physically, I'm probably going to go with Bundy. I don't know why. I just feel like Holmes back in the day, their fighting skills was different. Bundy, if he's at his prime, he'd probably throw hands a little different.
Yeah,
A little
it's
better on the
possible.
defense and whatever.
It's possible.
I also think that the Cocor's going to die because Bundy's going to kill her.
Yeah,
because
probably.
that fucking gun that shoots the high-pressured semen is in Bundy's pants. Like, that's what he fucks these dead women with, is that high-pressured
okay.
gun full of semen, because he unloaded his semen all over corpses.
Gotcha, right.
And H. Holmes is just too scared, so he just runs away. And so I'm giving it to Bundy.
Okay. CK, what do you think, man?
I'm thinking H. Holmes has the edge.
Okay.
To me, I think
I lean that way, too. I think Holmes might be, Bundy's kind of pampered. But,
Yeah.
he's pretty agile, though. I mean, jumping out of
Well-
the fucking window. I mean, he was doing some crazy shit,
well, he's
so.
the one killed women. So, you got to have it both sides.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think H. Holmes is more of a well-rounded killer.
Okay.
So I think he's going to take that cast iron skillet, bash the Cocor, fucking throw it to the side, take the skillet again, and just pulverize fucking Bundy, and stick that gun right up his ass
Wow.
All right.
until he's dead.
So
Damn.
he's dead.
Pretty
Till the
brutal.
fucking trigger
Very
doors
serious.
click.
Joey, what do you think, brother?
The way I see it is fucking Bundy, he's going to automatically be fucking just distracted by the Cocor. So
Right.
while he's looking that way and fucking starts to go after her, fucking H. Holmes is going to take that skill and just fucking bash his brains in. And he's like, okay, Bundy, you think you're a sick motherfucker? You're into necrophilia? So he's going to fuck Bundy's corpse just
wow.
to top him on that. And then
He's going to Panzram
to
him?
go even fucking hardcore with it, he's going to take that skillet that he bashed his fucking brains in, he's going to fill it with the fucking semen from the high-powered fucking shooter of sperm.
Yeah.
And he's going to fucking go over to that co-core who was there in the first place to distract Bundy. He's going to be like, man, let me see that lighter you got that you fucking cook up your spoons with. And he's going to set a fire right in the middle of the fucking mat. And he's going to fucking use that fire to fucking boil that fucking
cum.
sperm. And then he's going to take pieces of Bundy and fry it up in the cum and eat
my
it himself
God.
with the
Oh, God.
co-core.
Jesus.
That sounds like a party, bro.
That sounds like something
Oh,
H.H.
man.
Holmes would want to do in his fucking place.
Wow.
It's very possible. Wow.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm leaning H.H. Holmes too.
H.H. Holmes.
But I'm thinking H.H. Holmes is going to go for the gun and kill Bundy with the gun,
Hell yeah.
and then maybe kill the co-core too, and then I don't know. But I definitely always love to hear you guys' takes on these things, and a lot of our listeners really enjoy that, and that's just a lot of fun doing some
Fucking
killer
right.
cage match. All right, well, we've done plenty of mayhem tonight, so I think it is time to hit the outro. Fuck yeah, man. Some Possessed. Was jamming some of them, some Seven Churches.
Hell yeah.
And then listen to their latest. That's from the latest. This song is called Abandoned. Fucking badass. So cool to see that news recently about the singer and bass player, Jeff Becerra. He's not been able to stand, for 30 years after getting shot.
Yeah.
In a robbery gone wrong, and he's able to stand now with these artificial legs. And all I know about him from people that I know that actually know the guy say he's the coolest guy and really down to earth. And he's a sad story, because he was the singer bass player. Then he went on to sing in the wheelchair, and they had a bass player playing. So,
But he's also got he's got a plethora of degrees that he earned.
yeah, that's cool,
Also,
man.
while last
Trying to
30
figure his life out.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a PhD, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah,
I think he's working towards that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So big thanks to our friend Brian Ward of the Dark
Definitely.
History and
Thank you,
Horror
Brian.
Convention
Yeah.
for
always
coming
good
in.
talking to him,
Yeah,
too.
Brian's a cool dude. He knows a lot about serial killers and true crime and gangster stuff. He's awesome, and it's going to be a good convention this year again, Saturday, October 23rd in Champaign, Illinois at the I Hotel. It's going to be over the top. Bumper music tonight, Fear Factory, Exalume, and Possessed.
Fuck yeah.
CK, your intro is by which fucking band?
Crisis.
Hell yeah. And Chris, the Murder Metal Mayhem intro.
Fucking Low 12. What's up?
Hell yeah. And Joey, the 666 music.
Onslaught.
You know it. Thanks to all of you guys out there listening. We keep seeing those numbers rolling in this week around 2,500. We just appreciate it. So thank you very much. And we picked a few out. Chris, what about that first one, dude?
Right. Sorry if I destroy this, but Randy Gilroyce.
I think
I'm
that's
gonna go
right.
with
Yeah.
Gilroyce, yeah. Been listening for a month now in San Diego. A buddy told me about you and said, once you hear this shit, you won't be able to stop. He was fucking right. The show is the best there is. There's no comparison what you do. Bravo. Fucking, all right,
yeah,
thank you.
thanks,
We are
Randy.
kind of one of a kind.
Yeah, that's really cool for you to say,
I
man.
believe that.
That's fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Joey, what about the next one?
Donna Wilson 77 said, I'm a listener in Denver, and you guys are fucking great. They were playing episodes of you at a metal show a few months back.
That's fucking cool.
That's how I heard about it.
That
and
is
got
awesome.
hooked. Great one on Crowley, by the way. I loved it. That's cool. What metal bands or what
Right.
show?
What
is
Yeah,
it?
fucking
Don,
show?
Yeah.
I would love to know what the
Yeah,
show
what the
was.
fuck
If it
is
was a
that?
Yeah,
local
very
show or
intrigued.
a national show, that would be badass if it was like Black Dahlia Murder or something. Yeah.
Shit.
Mandy rocks it 887 CK. What does she got to say?
Comment that I listened to you in Austin, Texas. Love the stuff you do. The one you did on the Grim Sleeper was really good. I didn't know much about him, Love the stuff CK does also. Rock the fuck on. Thank you so much for the compliment.
Hell
Yeah, that's awesome,
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And then
We all
Danny,
appreciate it.
yeah, we do, man. It's very humbling to know that people like it, to reach out and just say, hey. Danny Klein commented, Murder Metal Mayhem is the fucking best. I've been listening since the early days. Great shit, and it gets better every week. I don't know how the hell you guys do it. I live in San Antonio. So
Fuck yeah.
very, very cool.
It's kind of easy to do it every week when you do it with guys you like.
Right, of course.
that sounds gross.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Of course,
I know, I'm
of
fucking with you,
course.
dude.
No, it does that we legitimately have a good time doing this. Don't forget to check us out at murdermetalmayhem.com. You can listen to past episodes. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on pretty much all the platforms that are out there, so listen however you do and rate us and comment. It helps move us up the list and gets more people exposed.
Go
to
check
the
it
show.
out.
And the 666 Club, patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. I'll link to that in the episode description. We thank all of you that are members. And like Joey said, every time we see or hear from one, they're like, man, I love that shit.
Right.
I wish I would have done it sooner. Or just $3. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing. So we appreciate that. Also, you can go to creationofchaos.com if you want to pick up one of my books and check the episode description to order your own copy of it. And you can also get the audio book, as I mentioned, on Audible, iTunes, or Amazon. And I have a link to that as well. And I did 11 of the stories, and then Brad Tucker did 2. And we got the crazy version of all of us doing the 666 Express. I'm very anxious
Yeah,
to do
it's
the
fun.
sequel to the 666 Express. Now, people are going to ask, well, how the fuck are you going to do a sequel when everybody died in the first one? Well, hey,
Maybe
if
not.
South
Figure it out.
Park could kill Kenny every
episode,
we
we
could
kill
kill
ourselves.
everybody in the cast every time. So we're going to have fun with that one, and that'll be up next when I'm done with Deeper Than Dead, and we'll do the audio and do our voices and stuff just like before. It's
He
going to be a lot
didn't
of
get
fun.
out of the cock-a-doodie car.
So we can't let him go, though, without hearing a karaoke song. I, unfortunately, again, didn't have a chance to get one done. I apologize. This is a good one, though, so crank it the fuck up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And get your ass to the Dark History and Horror Con Saturday, October 23rd in Champaign, Illinois.
Fuck yeah.
Cornfields, bitch.
I feel so unsure as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, something in your eyes calls to mind a silver screen, and all it said goodbye. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste a chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. Oh, fuck yeah! Time can never mend the careless whispers of a good friend. To the heart and mind, ignorance is kind. There's no comfort in the truth. Pain is all you'll find. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I fucking dance with you. Never without your love. Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have lived this dance forever. But now who's gonna dance with me these days? We're gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I fucking dance with you. Now that you're gone, now that you're gone. Now that you're gone, what I did was so wrong.
Mother, man.